Hello, this is Hamster, and I'm on my Tempest, okay, or a Camster. Now I'm going to go over a Fire Staff Ellie setup tutorial video with some realistic damage numbers, okay. And I have here my handy dandy assistant, or well, my buddy here, he's just practicing his DPS. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to go over is the gear. You can see here, we have full Berserker's armor, okay? And we have Berserker's weapon along with Berserker trinkets. Now the runes that you want are going to be Superior Rune of the Scholar for that 10% damage increase while health is 9%. It's also good power ferocity. You see here my stats, 3,917 power and 251% crit damage. Also in addition, if you can't afford it, and I think most people can at this point, plus 5 power infusions. Alright, that would be nice, because the maximum you can put on a character, I think, is 18 right now, so it's an extra 90 power in addition to whatever you've got on you. So 90 power goes a long way, especially if you're trying to do, like, you know, somewhat near max damage or max damage in general. Same thing goes for the weapon. As you can see, I have plus 5 power infusions on weapon, and also everything else. All the trinkets and stuff are also powered out. Only thing you can't put it on is the amulet. Okay, those apparently can't be put. You can't put plus 5s on. Now the weapon I'm gonna cover is gonna be Superior Skill, Force, and Accuracy. Now the reason I use Accuracy instead of Knight or anything like that is I want to be as close to 100% crit chance as possible. Okay, the closer you are to 100%, the more damage you're gonna do. Because again, a normal attack versus a crit attack is quite a significant amount difference. Next up, I'm gonna cover the traits. So, I have normal trait lines, FAT, Fat, Fire, Air, Tempest. Now in the Fire trait line, okay, you're going to have Burning Precision. Alright, critical hits have a chance to cause burning. Really good since you're going to be critting a lot, 100% crit chance as you can see here, and you're going to be hitting often, so you can have more than one burn stack. Alright, and burning does last a little longer. Next up is going to be Pyromancer's Training. While at Tune of Fire, you get 10% more damage, and your fire skills all recharge 20% faster. It means your Law Fawn is 6.5 second recharge. Your Burning Retreat, 16 seconds. Meteor Shower is down to 24, and Flame Burst is down to 8 seconds. Now this is pretty important times because they go mesh into your rotation later on, allowing you to do that damage. Every single skill here is a DPS increase for the Tempest. The most minimal would be Flame Burst. Okay. Due to the fact that you're not running Condi damage. Next up is the Air trait line. First one is Ferocious Winds. You want that extra ferocity, 7%. As you see here, at 251, if I switch it off, I drop to 242, so a 9% crit damage decrease. Okay. Now, next up is going to be Inscription or Shocking Aura. Now, these are situational dependent. If you're fighting a mob or a boss that you can easily stun or knock down or anything like that, often enough, I would go with Tempest Defense. Reason being that increase in 20% damage goes a long way. Okay, let's take for example, let's hit 20k meteors and 10k fonts and auto attacks. So that's 40k damage a second, right? Roughly, right? Depending on how many meteors hits. Okay, and 20% of that, an extra 8,000 damage a second. Alright, while you are hitting a stun, knockback down, anything bow. Yeah, but that is that Inscription boon. Now, this is good if you're doing a kind of fresh air setup, which I'm not going to cover here, or switching to air attunement in your fire rotations, which I'm also not going to cover. Okay, very good benefit to do to Inscription is that your glyph, right? Firestorm, Glyph of Storms, etc. is going to recharge 20% faster. So what that means is that 12 seconds off, and you're going to be able to spam it more often. Now, the most damage that you're going to ever get from a Glyph of Storms is going to be an Air Attunement, your Lightning Storm. It can head up to 36 times and around, say, 2,000 plus damage per tick. Okay, so it's a lot of damage over time. Again, we're going to camp Fire Staff here. Okay, so it's not going to be in our rotation aside from the initial start. Last but not least, Bolt of the Heart, a definite must-have. Okay, when you take that enemy mob down to 50%, 20% damage the rest of the fight. Really good. Okay, squeeze out the damage, etc. Last trait, obviously, is going to be Tempest. So, right now I'm on Unstable Conduit. Okay, I usually take Eye of the Storm in certain occasions because of the stun break. Okay, really nice. So it breaks stun for you and 5 other players. So if you get stunned and everyone gets stunned, you know, it breaks stuns for all of you. Currently I'm on Unstable Conduit, Fire Shield, etc. It doesn't really matter what you take, to be honest. It's situation dependent. Now next one is going to be Harmonious Conduit. This thing here, okay, it's 10% damage for 5 seconds after overloading. Now what you want to do is you want to put overloads as often as you can, but you also want to time them for certain times in the rotation. Preferably after a meteor shower is cast, not before. Okay, reason being is that you're still channeling meteor shower, etc. If you do activate a overload before a meteor shower, then you're gonna waste like about a second of channeling damage. Second of damage. So your meteors aren't landing in the first half a second, 3/4, 1 second while channeling usually. Okay, I'll explain that while I do my rotations or examples on the golem. Last but not least, it's going to be either Sand Squall, Lucid Singularity, or Elemental Bastion. Doesn't really matter, these are all situational dependent. I go with Bastion because the Frost Aura effect, when you get hit under 75, so your team takes a little bit less damage, okay, ups survivability, just that much. Alright, now that I've gone over that, let's go over skills. So, initial spike is going to constitute Overload Air and Glyphous Storms. Lightning Storm. Now what we want to do is, alright, let me summon a golem real quick. Alright, so what we want to do when we start our spike, okay, the golem's over here, we start, usually from a distance. Now what we're going to do is overload air, but we're going to walk it to the golem or to the boss, and only hit the boss with the last strike of channeling with the overload air. That starts the fight, okay? So you don't kind of start a timer in raids or anything like that. So I'm going to demonstrate that here, okay? Casting overload, walking it, and placing it, boom. As you can see, the boss or the mob is being hit right now by the full overload, not the channeling portion. After that, you're going to follow it up with a lightning storm. And here's where things get, get juicy. After casting or while channeling your lightning storm, you switch to fire attunement. Switching attunements while casting a skill, aside from overload, will not cancel that skill. So I can cast Lightning Storm right now and switch to Fire. The end product is still going to be Lightning Storm, but I'm going to be on Fire Attunement. And the reason that's important is because you get Pyromancer's Training in your trait line, also Empowering Flame. So it's an extra 150 power while on fire, and also 10% more damage output from these two traits combined. So you want your Lightning Storm and Glyph of Storms to be getting that nice damage buff from the fire, attunement. So here, I'm going to go and demonstrate it. Casting Lightning Overload, pushing it on the boss. Immediately, boom, Lightning Storm, and I'm on fire now. So as you can see, it's going to get a significant damage boost, 2.7 per tick, instead of maybe I think a 2.2, 2.3 thousand damage per tick earlier. Now after that, after immediately switching to fire, okay, you want to put down a lava font and then do a burning retreat through the mob. Reason being is that you want to save your meteor shower and frostbow for after your overload fire hits. So I'm going to demonstrate it here after I switch to fire. Okay. Important thing is your burning retreat here. You want to position it as such, about this far from the boss. Reason being is that you want to hit all 4 ticks of burning retreat. Burning retreat functions the same kind of like a warrior greatsword 3 or a thieves staff 2. Okay, with improper positioning, you get less hits. Maximum number of hits you can hit with burning retreat or ticks is 4 per second. Okay, that's about 1,000 damage per tick. So if you hit it wrong, you're losing about 2,000 physical damage per second from burning retreat alone. The lowest you can hit is 1 tick. The most is 4. Usually you hit between 2 and 3. But either or, you're still getting you're also getting burning from burning retreat. So you have to factor that out. Your losing a tick from Burning Retreat is around 1,200-ish or more damage per second loss. So here, I'm going to simulate casting Burning Retreat from this distance. As you can see, it's 3 hits. So 1,300 burning, 1,007, and then 800 per tick. Okay. That's about 1,100 damage loss because we're missing a tick. Now, if we hit all 4 ticks, it should be around this distance here. 4 ticks. So it's 950 each. Okay, and see the burning ticks rose up to 2,000, now 1,900, 2,001, and then boom. So a significant difference between 3 or 4 ticks of Burning Retreat. After that, Flame Burst, tie that into your rotation. Now, there's 2 skills, significant skills that I want you to pay attention to: the Lava Font and Burning Retreat. As you can see, they don't have any cast times, so it's possible to cancel them while having the skill come out anyway. For example, you can see you have Flame Burst, Meteor Shower, and Fireball. Okay, they all have cast times of, let's say, half a second, 3/4, whatever. Now, what you can do with Lava Font is you can use it, right, and at the same time use another skill like Flame Burst. What that's going to do is it's going to cancel the animation of Lava Font, and it's going to cast Flame Burst at the same time. Therefore, you don't really lose damage. Okay, instead of casting Flame Burst and Lava Font, you're losing half a second of damage because you're still, you got to cast Flame Burst and all that. So I'm going to demonstrate it here, Lava Font and Flame Burst at the same time. Oh, my bad. I'm going to re-demonstrate it again. Oh, macro. Here we go. You can see I canceled the Lava Font animation, but I casted Flame, I got the Flame Burst out. Same thing goes for Burning Retreat and Meteor Shower. You can do Burning Retreat through a mob and Meteor Shower cast while you're doing it, then boom. That way you're not wasting half a second, 3/4 of a second, or a full second, after you Burning Retreat through. Alright? And then, you're standing there trying to cast Meteor and, activate it. One thing to have in mind is that you want to use skills mid-cast. For example, a Burning Retreat followed by Lava Font, halfway through. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just going to demonstrate it right here. Burning Retreat, put a Lava Font. As you can see, I was still in a Burning Retreat animation while I put Lava Font on the ground. Therefore, saving some time. You can see, hitting all that damage. Let's go into the nitty-gritty. The rotation starting from 0. I'm going to reset cooldowns. Alright, so I'm going to do the whole overload, and then Glyph of Storms, and then go into fire. So here I go. Starting on the Golem. Alright, make sure I am on auto attack here. Have this very bad habit of turning auto attacks off, and sometimes they don't go off. Just stand there. Alright, here we go. Here we go. So overloading air. And start. So I'm walking, putting the last one on the Golem, then boom, pushing to fire. Lava Font at 4. Meteor Shower, followed by a Flame Burst. Okay. And Lava Font. Now that's a big, juicy DPS spike. What you want to also do is Ice Bow into that rotation. So after Meteor, if your Lava Font is charged, put that on, summon Ice Bow immediately, and then boom. Now here I'm going to demonstrate the full rotation, including the Ice Bow on the boss. And I'm going to do it up to a second Meteor Shower to kind of show when you would want to cast Meteor Shower. Here we go. Walking it, and then putting on the boss. Storm Glyph. Boom. Just a second, I'll tell you when or how. As you can see, I'm putting damage on the mob. Now I'm a Meteor recharge, but I want to wait for Overload Fire. Reason being is that, alright, I'm gonna cast Meteor, okay? Then Overload immediately after that. And boom, I have Now, Harmonious Conduit active while I have meteors, overloads, and lava fonts falling on a boss. At that point, I would pick up an ice bow and put it on the boss as soon as possible or on the mob while I still have that Harmonious Conduit active. Alright, and then you're going to spam Firestorm whenever possible. You can see, meteors recharge, you can put it on the floor here. Okay, pop a lava font and then immediately go into Overload Fire. That's the rotation you should be following. Meteor Shower, then Overload Fire with a lava font whenever possible. Also, Burning Retreat. You want to put this on a boss, that's an extra. You can get up to over 5,000 DPS increase with Burning Retreat on a big hitbox target. So that's 5,000 damage. That's like a lot. That's comparable to a lava font or auto attack, per se. And again, ice bow. Okay. Generally, you want to time ice bow again after a meteor, after an overload fire, and after a lava font. Okay. Because you want to put that lava font. It's a constant damage on the field. That's about 30,000 damage per lava font if it hits 5,000 per tick. So you don't want to miss out on that damage. Every second that lava font's on, not on the floor, is a 5,000 DPS loss. Elite doesn't matter. You can take this the Glyph of Elementals or the Rebound, depending situational dependent. I would not take any of the other ones, especially Conjure Greatsword. Yeah, it's a DPS increase, but that horribly long recharge cycle, etc. It's not really worth it, and it doesn't really do much for the team compared to Rebound, which could save your team from a very nasty spike, etc. And that's about it. The next part of the video is from an earlier part of the vid, me doing the rotations. Alright, about, I would say, like 98% perfect-ish. So hopefully you enjoy. Just take a look, and then it's basically, again, start with Overload Air, Glyph of Storms, go into Fire, and the same rotation I just stated. And spamming skills on cooldown, and make sure you have a good position for your Burning Retreat. Because if you miss this, well, it's a significant damage loss of at least, again, 1.2 thousand-ish damage per tick, and up to 4 ticks. Alright, so here we have Meteor Shower almost ready. I'll do Meteor on the boss real quick, and then Lava Font, and then Overload Fire. And pick that Ice Bow up and do 4, 3. I switched to my phone connection because my Wi-Fi was, again, it's kind of bugging out on me, and it's really, really slow. So here we go, trying to maintain over 30k DPS. And I don't think that's going to do anything. I did miss, I have missed a couple seconds of damage already, due to, little fumbles in here and there, Butterfingers. Alright, so DPS rotation, realistic numbers-ish. Started off with a decent 37.8, and then dropped down to 31.1. From between here and here, I did lose a lot of damage. As you see, popped the wrong skills. But that rotation should be valid. Okay. I'm starting to get a little bit of lag again. And it's affecting me quite a bit. Actually, can't pull off the rotations as well as I normally would without lag. Now let's redo that. So let's DPS this one. 2. Okay, so again, you want to kind of do a consistent numbers. Right around here is fine. Try to maintain again 30k, 31k plus DPS on your setup as Ellie. So I'm going to try again. Alright. You can see difference between DPS S1 and 2s. So start off with, again, over 37k, almost 38k here. Here, a little bit less, 35. And then DPS kind of the same. Alright, 31.1, 31.5. Alright, and then boom. Okay, start increasing a little bit. So either or, okay, you want to maintain around 30k plus DPS with the fire staff Tempest setup. Okay, we're not going to be switching to air or anything here. Alright, and I do apologize for the split in the video. I got massive lag spikes towards the end there of the intro and explaining all the other stuff. So hopefully you like it. And then these aren't really benchmarks. It's just normal rotations I push out. There's other ways to do it. Again, it's just how I start off and how I spike. Okay. Again, make sure that your burning retreat is active for the most part. You also want to do flame burst after lava fawns if often as possible. Okay. Reason being is that flame burst is a little bit of a DPS increase, half a second over time. Damage, it equals out. Okay. Now, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helps. And you might notice my elite is Glyph of Elementals. My bad. Using this on other content. You want to do rebound. Okay, if you do want to push a little bit more DPS, but highly discourage, is Conjure of Fear Greatsword. Okay, that gigantic cooldown time is pretty bad. Alright. So, rebound, keep yourself alive, or again, Fire Ellie for a little bit more damage. Okay. Or, Earth Ellie, either or. Alright, so this is an unrealistic damage vid. There's a couple numbers already here from earlier, but I'm just going to do it anyway. For the Tempest, Staff, Fire, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So actually not too bad, but it's a lot lower than earlier's. Pew pew. Best. Probably the Meteor Shower differentials. Try that with a 4 million HP golem. Unrealistic damage test. With all the boons, all the good food. This stuff. And that's about it. Whatever numbers, at least maintained 40k ish, except for this one. So pew pew. Hope you enjoyed this video with realistic, unrealistic numbers on a staff camp, fire camp Tempest. Right. Have a good one.